listening to A Band of Gamers, podcasting since 2012. Three older best mates share a few laughs and keep you current with discussions about the latest news, consoles, and games. Join the conversation and the community. abandofgamers.com. Hello, you're listening to A Band of Gamers, ABOG. What's going on?
Podcast.
It's the 225th episode, I think. I think that's right.
Crazy.
Yeah.
We've got another good one. We got packed full of news. Ton of news in here. First of all, Xbox makes a bold move for $7.5 billion.
With a B.
With a B. Amazon's gaming service is revealed. You can now install a game before you buy it. The hell's that all about? It's looking really good for existing PlayStation 4 players who plan to upgrade to a PS5. Sony must be fans of the popular ABOG segment.
I'm thinking so.
Because they just made a change to trophies. Now you got bigger numbers. We're going to talk about our pre-order plans, see what we ended up deciding to do. I'm anxious to hear what Karl's going to do since he pre-ordered everything under the sun and then is going to decide which one he's keeping or which one he's not keeping. We've got another Apple podcast review to share. A couple new games to talk about. Maybe they're worth your free time, maybe not. We'll give our takes on those. Since Sony is changing numbers, we're going to add a few to yours. Well, less numbers maybe, with a couple easy PlayStation Platinum trophies. And at the end, we'll share what we're drinking. Maybe a little bit of cheer in there as well. Little loose talk at the end like we like to do. But we respect your free time. We're always shooting for an hour. We got a lot to get to. Let's just get to it. I'm Joel, your MC, one of your three co-hosts, recording in Brookfield, Wisconsin, USA. The COVID-19 hotspot, I think, of the whole entire world at this moment in Wisconsin. Unbelievable.
Yeah, you guys getting rocked there.
Holy crap. I've been in my basement the whole time. I'm good. But joining me on this podcast journey, first of all, from Vancouver, Canada, the night won't scare me or scare him. It's Shane. Hey, Shane.
Hi. Man, it's good to be back, man. It's felt like I'd say it every episode, something about feeling been too long, but it's not long. But we're back. Loving it, man. Feeling good, man. We're getting into that fall, it's good. Got a nice beer here. I'll share with you in a bit. But yeah, man.
Very good. In Birmingham, England, in seventh heaven, it's Karl. What's happening, Karl? Look at that.
Aston Villa 7, Liverpool 2.
Nice.
Ooh.
There you go.
That's all I'm saying. I'm sorry, Tim Pauling. Love you, man. But yeah, I couldn't believe that.
You're
raring to go, chaps.
You've been pretty excited in our private chat there with the Aston Villa lately. I can feel it like oozing across the ocean, all the excitement. It's pretty awesome.
I'll tell you what, mate, after 38 years of following this football club and winning, we did well when I was a lot younger, and it's just starting to get really good again. So I'm everything crossed that we can make a go at this, and we just get a little bit better each year. That's all I want.
Can't get more than that, man. We're all rooting for you. Well, big news hit. It's been 3 weeks. So Shane, it is a little longer than normal since we sat and recorded.
Thank you.
We were a week early last time, and as I put a little bit of a preface into the last episode, 224, this big news right here hit, of course, during our week off. Had to at least mention it. Let's get into it now. Microsoft has bought ZeniMax Media for $7.5 billion. ZeniMax is the owner of Bethesda. So with this purchase, they get a lot of big first-party games, Fallout, well, first-party now, Fallout, Oblivion, Skyrim, Wolfenstein, Doom, Quake, Dishonored, Prey, and many more. Phil Spencer said, as one of the largest, that's the head of Xbox if you don't know, as one of the largest, most critically acclaimed, privately held game developers and publishers in the world, Bethesda is an incredibly talented group of 2,300 people who make up some of the most accomplished creative studios in our industry across Bethesda Softworks. Wow, I'm not reading very well. Bethesda Game Studios, id Software, ZeniMax Online Studios, Arcane, Machine Games, Tango, GameWorks, Alpha Dog, and Roundhouse Studios. These are the teams responsible for a bunch of games I just named. But the big question right now is I think everybody knows these are going to be in Game Pass. So it's a big win for Microsoft and Xbox Game Pass. I think they're just calling Game Pass now. But I imagine when a lot of these games come out, They'll be right there in Game Pass, so they're gonna bump up the subs for that very highly popular service. But the big question, and they haven't really said it yet, I think they're going to do it. Are these games going to now be exclusive to Xbox? All those games I mentioned, Fallout, Oblivion, Skyrim, Wolfenstein, Doom, Quake, Dishonored, Prey, any new ones of those comes out, they'll be PC, obviously, and Xbox exclusive. What say you, Shane?
What's up?
What do you say? You listening? You with me?
I don't think they'll be exclusive at all.
No,
not a chance.
Why not?
$7.5 billion is a lot of money to recoup. And you can't just throw that kind of money out there and then, no, there we go. Now you got to recoup that money somehow. And I think it's more of, it just makes the handshakes between all these companies and whatnot just a little bit smoother. I think Game Pass definitely, puts those games in there a lot quicker, and that'll be the big, the big achievement for purchasing them. Because I mean, they're just owning. It's just a change of ownerships, really. But they got to recoup that money somehow. So I would be shocked if this stuff went exclusive. Like, there's way too much money involved to do that.
I'd be shocked if they didn't go exclusive. I'm on the polar opposite side of you there, man. I think they're going to recoup their money just in new Game Pass subs. But the fact that you add in
$7.5 billion in Game Pass subs.
Yes. No question. With Game Pass Ultimate, all the PC players are going to get all these games included with their Game Pass Ultimate rather than having to pay $60 for the game. I think there'll be a lot of new Game Pass subscribers. And I do think they're going to be first-party exclusives. But no one knows yet.
Yeah.
They haven't said. I mean, I understand what you're saying, Shane. And there's a lot of games that are already on the table. There's that one we talked about last episode. The name escapes me at the moment. That really cool-looking, stylized first-person shooter coming to PlayStation. It's being published by Bethesda. When I said looks like a Tarantino movie, I forget the name of it.
Oh, yeah.
That they won't yank the rug out from under any of those. So any current agreements in place, that game's going to be a PlayStation exclusive and will remain that. So all of those current agreements, if any of these games was previously announced for PlayStation, it's still going to come to PlayStation. But I think any new games not previously announced, I think they're going to go first party exclusive to Xbox and stay on PC where they've always been. Most of these games are biggest on PC.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to land somewhere in the middle of you two gentlemen and say it's going to be a bit of both. I think to start off with, I think Shane's probably going to be right. There is going to be a period of time, like you say, Joel, stuff's in development. They're going to release that across all platforms. But over a period of time, they'll wind that down. And as stuff gets developed, it'll be exclusive to Xbox and PC. I think for me, the one that's probably the most interesting is Starfield, to see what happens with that. It's the first new IP that Bethesda have had in terms of an RPG in 25 years. So whether this will land on all consoles, where it will do really, really well and recoup a ton of money for them, or whether they'll say this is Xbox only and PC, maybe even timed exclusives. They've always got that option, but it's a huge move, isn't it, for Microsoft? I mean, there's been some rumblings, in the past kind of 3 or 4 or 5 months that they've been talking to different developers and different studios and been looking to expand that Xbox range. And we've heard of them, talk of buying Sega. We've heard talk of buying, the likes of Capcom and people like that. But Bethesda's one I didn't see coming. It just seemed like such a big beast. And yeah, $7.5 billion is that's a lot of scratch.
I heard somebody was saying on that vast, wonderful internet that we all love so much that. So I heard some people saying that they paid more for ZeniMax Studios than Disney paid for Star Wars. Which that was, if that's not an eye opener, I don't know what is.
Yeah,
that's
puts it into perspective.
Sure does.
Wasn't Star Wars like $6 billion? Not too far off, but still, like, that's a crazy amount of money.
Definitely.
You start counting the nickels and dimes out of that.
They've got some deep pockets over there at Microsoft, obviously. And They're in it for the long haul here, guys. $7.5 billion. And I think it's no secret. It's abundantly clear that they want to sell you Game Pass. That's their plan. But they are still making a box. They're still making consoles. And because of that, they are going to try and move some consoles by saying these games are first-party exclusive. That's my opinion. We shall see. I've heard some people say, a couple other podcasts actually, that this is the last generation of boxes. That as of like PlayStation 6, Xbox, whatever the hell next it's going to be called, they're going to go away. It's all going to be online or cloud-based. I don't see that. I see Microsoft's future as continuing to put out a box. So people like me, who really like not having to get into the whole beefy PC game, can continue to play these games on a PC for my television, essentially.
Yeah, same. And they can kind of min-max this whole process. You know, that they've got the consoles now, and you've got the Series X and you've got the Series S, and you've seen at the back of that Series X you can put in the third-party SSD card, this ditty little memory card thing. Mm-hmm. Expensive, but in line with the cost of the current tech. You know, it's nothing surprising. But you can see, you know, if they release these boxes, if you like, PC boxes going down the years to come, with various parts that you can just plug in and play, then you could easily, you know, expand your memory. You know, you can plug in a new graphics card or whatever, you know, the equivalent of what that would be. It's kind of like a bite-sized PC upgrade thing, you know, that they have got a route to try and do that with people, especially if this generation, if this whole subscription plan thing works, then that might be something else that they'll look at. But yeah, I think we'll still get boxes. They might be a bit different, but certainly I think we'll get them.
Well, and to your point, they're doing that with the Series S and the Series X. You can decide how much you want to spend, and you get a little bit beefier of a PC under the TV, or a little less. I mean, it's not the same as what you're saying, plugging in different components, which I think that'd be really cool. I'd pay a little bit more to be able to upgrade a graphics card mid-cycle rather than having to buy a new box. And that's a pretty good idea.
Or Rumble Pack.
Rumble Pack. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Got to have that Rumble Pack, man. Good old N64. Nintendo. Everyone makes fun of them, but man, they've provided a lot of innovation that we play on all these other consoles to this day.
Oh, yeah.
Analog sticks. Man, the list goes on and on. Amazon is getting into the gaming biz formally. And they've got a gaming service called Luna. This looks like Stadia, cloud-based, subscription-based gaming service. They're going to charge it for $5.99 a month. So it's cheaper than Stadia, which is currently at $9.99 a month. Probably similarly priced to Apple Arcade. I think that's in the $5 ballpark range. Presentation showed a few games. Control, Resident Evil 7, Sonic Mania. So a lot of third-party titles will be on this thing. They've also got an exclusive partnership with Ubisoft. Not exclusive to the extent that Ubisoft's going to give them content that they don't put elsewhere. But there's going to be apparently a separate channel within Luna, which requires a separate subscription for an additional cost. And then you'll have access to Ubisoft games. I would imagine not having to buy them, right? So you would get Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Far Cry 6, available at day of release for whatever additional amount of money that would cost to be part of that Ubisoft channel. They've got you stop, play, and move from one device to another like Stadia, across Fire TV, phones, tablets, PC, and Mac. They're touting it at 4K, 60 frames a second. They've got a specific Luna controller you can buy for $50. And not a surprise, the service integrates with their owned Twitch. So they'll have some, and if they're smart, they'll put something unique there for all them Twitch streamers. But yeah, I'm not at all interested in this so far, just as like I kind of wasn't interested in Stadia. The more they put out, the more I find myself sort of becoming more singularly focused. I don't need all these things. I've already got a Switch, a PlayStation, and an Xbox.
Yeah.
I feel like that's overwhelming enough. I don't also need Stadia, Amazon, Apple Arcade, although I dip my toes in on that just to try it, but I didn't keep it. Any interest in Amazon's gaming service?
Not at all.
No. I think for me, I really like the controller. I think it looks just like the excellent Pro controller for the Nintendo Switch, which is a beautiful controller. This looks very similar. I quite like the design of it. It's very, very clean, nice lines and stuff. And for $50, like if it works really well, it's not a bad way to get into it. For me, I think the problem is just bandwidth. It's all very well and good disintegrating with Twitch, but if you're streaming games down to then stream games out, you're going to need a beefy internet connection to be able to kind of do that. It's interesting. The price point it's pretty reasonable. It's obviously cheaper than Google Stadia, which I think is just on this slow death, which even Google doesn't care about. Whether it was just a bit of a gimmick from them, I'm not sure. But yeah, maybe it will have promise if they integrate it correctly with Twitch, perhaps with free giveaways, perhaps free games like they do with Twitch Prime and things like that. You don't know, but like you, Joel, like we've got enough stuff under the television at the moment, and we've got new consoles coming. For me, it's not going to be something I'm going to look at.
Yeah, maybe it's a little old guy talk here, a little get off my lawn. I don't need this thing. I don't really feel like getting into the next thing. The kids can keep this. But don't forget, Amazon has tremendous computer power. I mean, I don't know if you guys notice it. A lot of ad campaigns here in the United States will tout the fact that it's using Amazon's proprietary computers to do like the computational data crunches and stuff. Like NFL, for example, uses Amazon to crunch their numbers. And a lot of big companies here in the States leverage Amazon's amazing computer systems to power their very hefty, hungry, data-driven software packages. So I think Amazon's in a unique position to perhaps solve that internet issue, Karl, that you're referring to. That Google really thought and said, you only need I need a piece of shit Google Chromebook PC and can have a crappy internet and this thing's going to run great. I think I believe Amazon before I believe Google with that whole proposition. And I said all that to spark conversation, and I failed. I failed.
You didn't. We're just pondering the correct response. And I think, they do seem to have given it more thought and in terms of an infrastructure than Google did. The whole Google thing still puzzles me, really. People signed up for it. People still play it, man. Like people still playing Destiny 2 on Stadia and stuff. It just seems that there is no support. Could remind you when the Vita comes out, and Vita's a wicked console, but it just there is no third party support, and one of the things just gradually goes away. And it's a shame, but Amazon, maybe they've learned from Google's lessons. They've looked at it. They've got probably just as good, if not a good infrastructure, like you say, Joel. They've got a cheaper price, more games at launch. So maybe they're just thinking, let's give it a go. They probably don't lose anything. They've got all this, the technology's already there. They're probably acquiring the game licenses doesn't cost them too much either. We just got to wait and see. I'm not ready for streaming games. I like to own them. I'd like to own them physically. I don't mind buying digital games if they are cheap and it's just convenient. That's fine. But I'd rather have the disc on a shelf. Even if the disc doesn't do anything, but just download the game when you put the disc in. I still like to have that box, man.
Shane, you just sent a picture to Karl and I of an amazing PlayStation 4 gaming shelf. Any comment there on the physical media? You want to add to that?
Man, you've been listening to me for how many years now? But I'm the gaming shelf type of dude, man. That's what I want. I want that collection. I want that physical copy. I want it up there on the shelf. Alphabetical order.
Nice.
And then if I get really bored, then it's alphabetical chronological order.
Oh yeah, that's how my records are, dude. Alphabetical, exactly. And then within each band, it goes in the order of release. That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Yeah. Got it, Palmer. That's how you do it.
Yeah, people come over here and like, how do you find anything in that giant stack of records? Well, duh. It's alphabetic. Easy. It's right here. Look, here's
follow my 10-point plan.
Yeah, here's where F starts.
Right.
Yeah, but the gaming shelf, right? The gaming shelf adds that one bit of extra complication. It's system alpha chronological. each
Yes.
system has to have its own section.
Oh,
yeah,
God,
You
yes.
don't commingle the Xbox and the
No.
PlayStation. I mean, that's like you can't do that. The green and
You're
the
a
blue.
monster if you do that.
Yeah, that's
That's serial killer stuff right there. If you go around someone's house and they've got alphabetized all of their games and they're all in different formats and different consoles and everything, just get out, just go, just get out there as quick as you
Right.
can.
Yeah,
That's
like,
not ending well.
That's like putting your cassette tapes in your record collection, right? Alphabetizing everything, and then the little cassette standing next to these.
You get those little Vita cases lodged in between your Xbox and PS4 stuff, and then throw in what is it, PlayStation 2, the bigger, the DVD cases. Toss a few of those in there just for good measure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Remember when?
Got way too much time on my hands to be sorting gaming shelves. Actually, it's funny. I have this other wall unit. My game, it's really small. I got this wall unit that I keep, like my Super Nintendo stuff in there and whatnot. But with the new consoles coming on, I'm gonna have to make room for, like the PS5 stuff, have another new section and whatnot, which, stuff. And I've been staring at this wall unit that I keep like a lot of Blu-ray movies in there and, like concert DVDs that I watch and whatnot. And I've been staring at it for weeks, every weekend. I'm like, this is the weekend. I need to sort this out. Maybe transfer my PS4 games. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do yet, but I stare at it a lot. And that's kind of how I kind of go through life. I just stare at things a lot.
Not a bad approach, mate.
Thank you.
Plenty more news to get to. So let's keep going here. Xbox will let you now install your games before you own them. A little bit of a eyebrow raiser, if you will, when I heard this.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Okay. Cool. Like, what? Why? But then after I read into it, it kind of makes sense. If you're planning on buying a game later, maybe, and you can download it. And this is the thing I didn't think about. And I'm like these two guys. I like to buy the disc, but you can go into their service, download the digital, and then when you put the disc in, it doesn't have to install it. It just acts as a key, and you're ready to play the game.
Yeah, okay.
So if you're headed to the store on the weekend, you're busy during the week, but you go in there on Saturday and you're going to buy whatever game, go into their store, download that game, even if you don't own it, and then when you have the disc, you're immediately up and running. Not something that everybody's probably going to utilize, but it's kind of a nice feature. And their infrastructure is such that they can support something like that. Remember, this is the company that was going to sell you the game license, right? You wouldn't be able to, their Xbox One failed E3 announcement where you're not going to be able to, and then Sony had that funny make fun of them graphic. Here's how you borrow a friend a game, and then they hand them the physical copy. Here you go. Xbox was not going to allow that, but now because of that sort of thought in infrastructure, they can do stuff like this. And I think this is a cool feature, not something everyone's going to utilize. But if you're one of these people who wants to go get a game at like midnight and come home and play it immediately without the hassle of having to install it, which takes a couple hours sometimes, man.
Yeah.
Get a new game, it gets to be really annoying. You can be up and running immediately.
I don't think this is a bad idea for them as well, because I know for me that there have been times when a game's coming out and I'm looking at it on the PlayStation Store. Like Borderlands 3 is a good example. I wanted it, but I wanted it physical. Couldn't get the physical copy at the exact time that the game came out, and I was like, well, I can't wait. So I had to buy digital. But something like this would be great because you could pre-install. And then you're like, all right, how long is it going to take me to get the physical disc? If it's going to take a bit too long, then you just click the button to buy and it's already installed, or you get the disc and you pop it in. Either way, you're a winner. And I think that it may end up with a few more digital sales because people might install it and they're like, oh, bloody hell, I've already got it installed. Maybe I'm not good. Amazon still haven't dispatched the game. I'm just going to click the button and buy it and cancel the order with whoever that you've ordered it from. So I really like this idea. I don't see why this has taken so long to come out. Really, I think it's a great little bit of innovation, and hopefully Sony will follow suit.
I do a lot of wish list games on the Switch the most because I think they have the best wish list the way it's set up. So if I'm browsing their very vast store of many really quirky, cool games, and I don't want to forget about it, you watch a trailer, you read about it, you're like, well, that sounds kind of cool, but you don't buy it at that moment. I put it in my wish list. And then on occasion, I go look at my wish list. And if any of the games are on sale, you can buy them right from your wish list. I could see doing something like this here, like a wish list. Like, this looks like a really cool game. I don't want to buy it right now. I'll wait for it to go on sale because a lot of everything goes on sale eventually or as a price drop. Maybe I'll just download it. I'm assuming it'll show up in your queue, your list. And I'm assuming have some sort of little symbol to indicate that you haven't bought it yet. And then when it goes on sale or drops some price, buy it and you're ready to roll.
And if they're really clever, you'll have a little email that will come out to you going, Joel, you've downloaded this game ready, just to let you know it's on sale. Just a little prompt, a little nudge to let you know.
Oh, they will, because Nintendo does that to me all the time.
Yeah.
Game in your wish list just went on sale. Like, oh, great. Now we're back on to Sony. Sony has confirmed, just very timely here for our show. Man, they're always thinking about us. Really got to...
Feels like it.
Man, really got to thank those guys over at Sony. ABOG, man. They always got our backs over there. It's just a wonderful. But they've confirmed how the PS4 backwards compatibility is going to work on PlayStation 5. Previously, they said most of your games. Now they're saying 99%. Over 4,000 PlayStation 4 games will work.
It's like all but like 10.
Yeah, short little list. And I looked at that list of 10 and there was nothing on there that was even worth like being worried about.
You've probably never even heard of one of those games on there.
Yeah, nothing. It wasn't like Red Dead 2 and Last of Us 2. It was like a bunch of games. You're right. I didn't recognize much of that list, to be honest.
Yeah, it's all of my games. So I'm happy.
It's all of Shane's games too.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. Cool. I guess.
Well, come on, dude. I mean, he's, Shane's not. If you're new to the show, he's not into backwards compatibility. If you can unhook the PS4, bro, and make room in your shelf, which is already loaded full of games, right? I know your TV shelf is separate.
Sure.
You could unhook the PlayStation 4. You wouldn't even need it. All these games are going to work on the play. How is that not a good thing?
Yeah, it's a good thing. This is what people wanted, and now they're getting it. Rejoice. So you're gonna keep your PlayStation 4 hooked up, and just out of principle, not put the disc in. Not out of principle, but it'll still be there. And see why not? Because you've got those. You've got those 10 games, right? That list.
Actually, he's got those games in limited run versions. So
wow!
Yeah. I'm going to keep my PS4 hooked up and probably just have the PS5 if I get the PS5 in another room. For me, it's great because the library's going to work. The way that they've announced some of this stuff makes a lot of sense, man. So to keep them both up and running.
I'm looking forward to playing PS5 games. I'm probably in the vast minority that's looking forward to playing PS5 games. I guess I don't know. I don't play very much PS3 stuff I'll pop a game in every once in a while for, Skate 3 was awesome, man. I pop that in, play for a half hour, whatnot. And I'm good. And then I'm off to the next, and then I go back and play the Crew 2. So I get it. I think we all do that. A little nostalgia, right? Nostalgia here and there. You throw in the old discs. It's just people want that option, and I get it. Totally get it. Why not? When you're bored, throw it in. You get your buddies. Hey, we should fire up. Karl, give me a game.
Oh, PS3.
Motorstorm.
Destiny 2. Let's play that and whatnot. It's like, oh, well, I got and it's easy. I get that for a lot of people, and it's important, just to have that. The whole PS4 controller not working with the PS5. That come on, guys. That's okay.
Well, I mean, it does for some, doesn't it? From memory, I think. Some of the stuff I'm sure it does. But how does it work exactly, Joel? Like, how does backwards compatibility work on the PS5? Well, your discs will work. Your digital downloads will work. Your cross saves will work, and by cross saves, I mean it'll now be a cross save. Your PlayStation 4 saves will work on PlayStation 5. You can either pull them down from the cloud. If you're a PlayStation Plus member, a lot of us, I know I use that feature, auto-upload my saves to the cloud just in case something happens to my hard drive, even though nothing ever does. You can also take your external hard drive,
off your PlayStation 4, put it on your PlayStation 5, get your game saves and your games off of that, transfer them over. Apparently, you can use a LAN cable. Not sure who the hell's going to do that. So take a LAN cable, plug the two consoles together, move the content over from 4 to 5. The titles will have increased loading speeds, obviously, with the SSD. So you'll have some improved loading speeds, more stable frame rates, because you got a beefier CPU and GPU, obviously. So we'll have maybe higher resolution potentially, higher fidelity. This is where it gets a little fuzzy. There's a quote, "Please note that the ability to transfer game saves between a PS4 version and a PS5 version of the same game is a developer decision and will vary title by title for cross-generational games." So not part of their designed infrastructure. Yeah. They're going to lean on developers. So it's going to be hit and miss unless all of them do that. I could see developers doing this, though, because the PlayStation 4 game, if they want to continue to sell their software for longer, make more money, and hopefully, knock on wood, it's not that difficult to do, they would do it. Because then they've now got their game on two systems. They've got the potential to sell it to more people. I could see a lot of developers adding that functionality. Your PS Plus, PlayStation Now games will all run on PS5. So all your existing PS4 and your Plus, or excuse me, PS Now games will all run. PS VR will work on PS5. You need the usual gear, the usual box. The PS5 camera, though, not compatible with PlayStation VR yet. Maybe they're going to do a PlayStation VR 2. I mean, that's assuming that's coming. So it seems like everything's just going to work, except for those 10 games. You'll just be able to do what you're accustomed to doing on your PlayStation 5. I think it's a great deal. And I'm with Shane a lot of the times especially when I go back now to Xbox 360 or PS3, it is nostalgia. But we're 7 years into this generation. Games look so much better now that when I go backwards, it's difficult. But in that first year or two, when these consoles come out, it's huge. And it's even bigger when someone's justifying spending $500 on a new console, or, a young child who doesn't have a job and a career and whatever, $500 in his wallet or her wallet. Mom, it plays all my current games, I think is a better sell than if it didn't. I think mom's more likely to, okay, it plays all your current, got it. You're not throwing your money out the window with the other stuff. You've got all these games I spent all these years on. Why do you want the new one? Damn you. I still want to, I bought you all these games for your birthday. Now you want this new system and you can't even play those games. But Mom, this new system plays all my games. I think parents would be more likely then to buy the new console having that backwards compatibility. So I think in this first year or two, I think backwards compatibility is really huge for moving new consoles. But 5 years from now, maybe not so much.
Yeah. Good show. We're in a bit of a middle ground as well. Like we've got these new consoles on the doorstep, and so say with something like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you can buy a PS5 or buy a PS4 version. Other games, so I've pre-ordered Cyberpunk on the PS4. And I've got these next generation consoles on pre-order, and I'm like, I want to play this game on them, and there is no next gen version. It's just that your current gen version will work, but I don't know whether there'll be any fidelity upgrades, whether there'll be any increase in performance or anything like that. So this is where it's going to be a grey area for me. I think it's going to be very much suck it and see. Your game will work on the PS5, brilliant. And if you get a boost, if you get a performance bonus, I think they've confirmed, like Ghost of Tsushima will be 60 frames. That game's gorgeous anyway. It's in the backlog at the minute, not started it, but I'm looking at that and thinking, well, if I get a PS5 and maybe there aren't that many games, but at least I can play this in a better performance mode than on the Pro. So I would love to see a blow-by-blow, game-by-game, this is what you'll get with each one. That'd be brilliant, but I don't think we'll ever get that. I think it'll be on a case-by-case basis, and you've just got to look through the store to see which one have got a little logo on it saying, performance improved for PS5.
Yeah, and I've seen Xbox has already got that logo, the design, the marketing all set. A lot of the newer games, a lot of the older games even, I'm seeing that whatever little logo that says optimized or enhanced for Series X or Series S.
Yeah.
So something like that, I think you're saying, right? I think this is also a check mark in the box as you're comparing the two new consoles. If you don't know which one to get, and they both do backwards compatibility, well, it's one less advantage for the Xbox, I guess. The fact that 99% of the games here, because Xbox isn't 100%. They are 100%, I believe, with Xbox One. But as you go back to 360 and the original Xbox, there's a percentage of games that are and a percentage of games that are not. PlayStation 5 is not going backwards, though, to PS3, PS2, PS1, whereas Xbox has all generations, some of their games, all generations backwards compatible. So still a, what's the word I'm looking for? Advantage. But of course, there's better first-party games on the PlayStation, so I don't know how much of an advantage it is. Another big news here for Sony. They overhauled their trophy system. Big fans of our e-penis section, obviously. Again, like I said, they got our backs over here. Yeah. They know how much we like our numbers going up. So they went and changed their system so those numbers go up a lot higher and a lot quicker. So I've been stuck on 13 or 14 forever. I don't know how long, because I'm not a platinum trophy guy, and I play a lot of Xbox games and Nintendo Switch games, not a lot of PlayStation games.
Yeah, for sure.
But now they're going up to $9.99, and after this upgrade, which they just did via firmware, I think, or through their server, however that worked.
Yeah, it was right on their end, like right when you fired up your device, or even went onto the app. If you have the app on your phone that you like to use at times, it automatically did it. There was nothing. Real easy peasy.
Just a trophy sync, maybe. I'm in the 200s now.
Whoa,
yeah.
Buddy.
Wow. Just a huge upgrade there. It's as if I played a bunch of games over the weekend or something. I just jumped up to 200. And I see
you had a swagger about you when you saw that. Like, oh, yeah, 200. Oh, yeah.
I kind of felt dirty, to be honest with you, but it's cool. Cool that it went up. You guys are what, in the 400s now, I think, right?
Sure.
I looked.
Yeah, I'm 469, I think.
Nice.
469, dude.
Carl's got it figured out.
120 platinums, 995 gold trophies. So I'm 5 away from 1,000. And as this stands at this moment in time, when we record this show, I'm ranked 18,439 in the world for trophies and 2,283 in the UK. I mean, how about that?
Wow.
Listen to this guy.
It's kind of like where our podcast ranks.
Ladies away from the door, right?
Yeah, right. Save some for us, man. Like,
very nice.
Brilliant.
Well, I'm glad you're dialed in on that there. That's cool.
I'm glad as well. Man.
And they've added some new trophy level icons. I'm assuming these are at the profile level. So you're a bronze if you're 1 through 299, which I still am a bronze. Silver, 300 to 599. Gold, 600 to 998. Platinum is your maxed out 999. So a little bragging rights.
Oh.
I looked through my friends list. I didn't see anybody much over 500. So I know there are people out there in the upper echelon, the 999. But even my e-penis friends over here with a segment on our podcast aren't 999. There's a lot of room to grow.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be stuck at your number for a long time like we were, like I was especially on PlayStation 4. It'll ding more quickly. You'll gain more quickly. It's that little
and it starts to level off as the higher you get up there. It'll start to
slow down a little bit.
I think my 2 highest buds on my friends list, I think, was GR Sonic, that was just over 500, and then Massive Attack was like 530 something or whatnot. Yeah.
Wow.
These guys are nuts, man. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy times.
What do you guys think? I think this is a cool thing. You guys are trophy hunters, so you like the fact. I like that it's going to give me my numbers going to go up more quickly. But I'm not. I mean, the whole point of it, I think, is to encourage you to play more games on their system, and it's the carrot.
Yeah, and
it's the carrot in front of you, which I really could give a flying crap about, to be honest.
And it was weird because it kind of capped out at 100, and I mean, I was nowhere near that. I was like 35 or something. I can't remember, but I know there's a lot of people out there that had maxed that out and whatnot. So it's nice that they're revisiting it, revise it a little bit, tweak it, going forward. I think that was. It's welcomed. Definitely welcomed. Pretty cool. Logging in and seeing where everybody's at. Who's got who will survive.
I mean, who doesn't like to see the numbers go up? You know what I mean? I think it's fun. It's not a detrimental change. So yeah, sure, why not? Aim for that gold level at least. Try and get to that for me personally. I mean, I'm sad. I haven't done many platinum trophies this year really compared to the last couple of years. So, and I bought a ton of them. So they're all sat there. We need to get through some more of them. But this is fun. We'll see how much we can grow that level.
Well, I'm very curious now. I've been waiting for this segment for 3 weeks. I want to find out what everybody's doing. I think Shane, I know what you're doing, right? You've got your PlayStation 5 pre-ordered. You're good. Just waiting for it to come out. There's no decision to be made. You're all set.
Yeah, pretty much.
Full steam ahead.
One of those. Yeah, I got the Amazon notice like, hey, we may not be able to fulfill this, on the day or whatever. And I was actually, you know what? I'll be honest with you guys. I was actually a little bit relieved in a way, just because of like the time frame, mid-November and whatnot. If it gets pushed back, a couple weeks or even a month or whatever, financially it'll probably work out a little bit better. Because the good thing about Amazon is they don't charge you until it ships.
Yep.
Which is big reason why I like to do some pre-orders with them. It, just managing the finances and whatnot. Not that it makes a dent, but it's. I was actually kind of I'm like, okay, so
same.
Yeah, it was actually a little bit of a, bit of a relief on that one. I mean, it's not really a whole lot at launch. I mean, I did pre-order the Miles Morales Spider-Man because that'll be really, really cool to see on the PS5 and play that. So outside of that, I mean, it's fine if it's a couple weeks or a month. Over that, if not by the end of 2020, we're gonna have a problem, Amazon. Plus, I mean, then if I see it in the store and whatnot, you can always grab one and then just cancel it or whatnot. So there's plenty of options, and that's nice to be able to have those options going into the fall and around the holidays and whatnot.
Yeah, good point. I picked up you're welcome. I pre-ordered an Xbox Series X. I got it on...
Nice. Congrats, dude.
Thanks. The Microsoft store. So they obviously in advance, as we talked about, gave you the date and time the pre-orders were going to go up. I leveraged my wife. We had a couple different websites up on our computers. Whichever one gets it first, let's get it. Because I wanted to pre-order one. So I got it on the Microsoft store, and knock on wood, so far have not gotten an email that said, we sold you more than we have allocated. But it's the Microsoft store, right? If anybody knows rock solid how many they have allocated, it's them. So I feel pretty comfortable with that. Did not have yet to order, just like I talked about last show. I still have not pre-ordered a PlayStation 5, and I'll wait. I'm going to just go with the Xbox Series X for a while. Play some more Nintendo Switch, and I'm good. I'm going to hold off a while before I get all three of them again.
It's a lot of money. It's I mean, even $3.99, $4.99, still a lot of money. Even $2.99, especially this time of year and whatnot. I mean, it's a decent chunk of change. So, nice to kind of put one off a little bit longer than you would if they were a little bit cheaper and whatnot. It definitely helps out.
Yeah. So that's us two. PlayStation 5 for Shane, Xbox Series X for me. Karl, did you pre-order an Xbox Series X as a placeholder? Series S as a placeholder?
Yes.
Yeah?
Choose your words wisely, bud.
Yeah, both. So as it stands, I've pre-ordered a Series S, a Series X, and a PS5. I haven't had any confirmation. I've ordered them all through Amazon. I haven't had anything to say that I won't get them at release. It's a real difficult thing for me because this year, like I've got my PS4. I love my PS4. I've got my PC, so I can play Xbox games on the PC, and I've got the PS4. So I've got Cyberpunk coming out, which I'm super excited about. It's arriving on the 9th of November. There is no PS5 or Xbox Series X version. So
you're getting the PC version of that, Karl?
No, I've pre-ordered it on PS4.
Okay.
Purely because once I've finished it, it's then something I can either keep on the shelf or I can trade it. I don't buy full price games on PC very often, just because I don't do that with digital games. I always wait for them to come down in price. So at the minute, I've got the PS5. I've pre-ordered. What have I pre-ordered? Godfall, Demon's Souls. Demon's Souls looks phenomenal, and that's the game I really want to play. But 70 quid, like I'm having a couple of difficult decisions thinking about the price of these games for next generation. Like, and I don't, and I've got the cash, it's fine, but it's then thinking that's a lot of money, like, to be dropping on, 1 or 2 or 3 games. So I'm then thinking, well, the games I really want to play this year are Cyberpunk and Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which both I can play on this generation. I pre-ordered the Series S as kind of a way a budget way to get into the next generation, if you like. But then the more I'm looking at the teardown, the information coming out about these consoles, I'm thinking, well, I could do all of that on PC pretty much. Now, Microsoft have increased the cost of Game Pass on PC from $3.99 to $7.99 a month, going from the end of October. I think basically it's come out of beta. I mean, $3.99 was too cheap. Let's be fair. So it's a little bit more, but it's the kind of thing I can just drop like a month or 2 in if I really want to play a particular game. So I think I can rule out the Series S. So at the minute, I'm torn between the Series X and the PlayStation 5. I just don't know. There's a lot of different things coming around. I think we need a few more Digital Foundry things about both consoles. I need to figure out what's what about each one, really, more than anything else. But I think I'll probably end up getting the PS5, but I just don't know. Like, 450 quid for the console, 70 quid for one game, and Demon's Souls looks incredible. Like, it's definitely the game I want to play, but I don't want to play it more than I want to play Cyberpunk. and Cyberpunk's massive, so am I going to get a chance to even play the PS5? Am I going to buy it and it's going to be sat there for a month and a half? Like, I'm just thinking, I don't know at the minute.
When are you going to decide? Like last minute? Are you going to end up with both? It sounds like you should cancel your Xbox Series S.
Yeah, the Series S I will cancel so someone else can jump on that. But I'm going to keep the other 2 for now, for a couple of weeks at least. Watch some videos and stuff, and then see. It's my birthday in a few weeks' time as well, so
whoa,
yeah, I know. Yeah,
I'm 50 now, right? 50.
So I'll be like, yeah, okay. I'll pick one up probably for that because there's nothing else I can think of. But I don't know. It just seems that this is the first generation where I've had a hard time kind of pushing the button and committing to something. Because I've got this backlog of games on the PS4, and the PS4 is still great, and there's plenty of games on the Xbox and PC Game Pass I haven't played either. So I don't know. I really don't know at the minute. But I think I can wheedle out the Series S, and maybe in 2 weeks I'll have made a decision. But for now, I'll keep the Series X and the PS5 pre-ordered. But right now, I'm going to cancel the Series S. There we go. Cancellation reason. Order created by mistake. I think that's probably the fairest one, isn't it? There we go.
See? You're doing it right now? This is like live on the show? You're
live on the show. Done. It's cancelled. Series S is no more.
All right. So if you're hearing this in 2 days, it's too late. You couldn't grab that. But
how's that for a cliffhanger there, kids?
Yeah.
Very nice. So, yeah, I was hoping you'd have a decision here. It would have been a lot more entertaining if you did, but that's fine.
I think that was pretty entertaining.
Fine. Yeah. Okay.
Get it, the edit.
Well, in 2 weeks, you're going to be more at the Judgment Hour, Judgment Day, our next episode. So we'll follow up. Yeah. There you go. That's the plans for next generation. And I'm going to move on. We've got an Apple Podcast review. So thank you to everybody who's taken a few minutes going out to their Apple Podcasts, usually their podcast app on their device, leaving us some comments, some stars. This one came in at the most recent one from Arctic Soldier in Sweden. Gave us 5 stars, and he said it's like having 3 friends to hang out with, having some beers. Even though they don't know who I am often at work when hanging out with them and can't have a beer. But mind over matter, I'm still there laughing and discussing. Give them a go. It's totally worth it. Thanks a lot, Arctic.
Damn.
That's awesome. Thanks, buddy.
I love this one.
Hell of a review, man. And don't worry, we know who you are, Arctic Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
we know.
Yeah, I see him on Twitter, right?
Yeah,
getting some old Killzone 3 vibes from that name, the old Arctic Soldier.
Oh yeah, nice.
Those old early inaugural ABOG days.
I love it. Well, thanks for the review, man. Very favorable. If everybody else out there could leave us a review, we'd love to read it in the show. We appreciate it. We love the feedback. Seriously, we value the feedback. We just, however we can make the show better for everybody. It did make me stop and think a little bit. I'm like, are people sitting at work like, damn, I wish I could have one of them tasty beers?
I hope so.
Are we rubbing?
I said at work.
Are we rubbing them beers in people's
day.
noses? I hope not. Just so happens we're recording on a Sunday every other week.
Yeah,
so beers are flowing all right.
It's all good. And if they're sensible, they've got a post-it note. They'll make some notes of those brews and try and pick some up on the way home.
That's right. There you go. Well, you can leave us a review as well. We're also on Discord. You can find a link to that on our website. Down at the bottom of the website, abandofgamers.com. But put a little fuel in our tank. Everything all the positive feedback, all the relationships, the friendships, we very much appreciate it. And no joke, it means the world to us. So thank you so, so much. I appreciate that, Arctic Soldier, and everybody else who takes the time to connect with us beyond just their headphones. Thank you so much. Let's talk about some games. And we are at 50 minutes, guys. What do you think? We get through here in 10? And a couple games to talk about, some PlayStation trophies to share. Karl, you've got the games.
Yeah.
What do you say, bud? 5 minutes? 4 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it. Let's blast through. I won't jabber on long because I think I've talked about at least two of these games before. Marvel's Avengers, I cancelled my pre-order. Instead, I rented the game just because I wanted to play that campaign. I love comic books, and I kind of saw enough from the beta that I wanted to kind of see what happened with the story. But I'm glad I rented it. I am. Story was good. It's entertaining. Obviously, you haven't got the character likenesses, things like that, but it's still a good time. But the actual game itself is it's still so buggy. I mean, I waited until there were two big patches on performance and everything else, and you still get glitches. Your teammates will be appearing on random sides of the air, and it looks like you got two of them. Two of each dude. The character balancing is off. The loot system is kind of irrelevant. None of it really matters. It's just still got a long way to go. It kind of feels like a Destiny, but it doesn't hook you in. You can't see any of the customizable stuff. You can't see there's no difference in characters. It's all skin based and battle pass kind of related. So definitely worth a rental if you like Marvel, if you're into the comics. The story is good, and I did enjoy that part of it. But as soon as I finished it, I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm done with it. What remains of Edith Finch? I put a poll out a few weeks back on Twitter just saying I'm back streaming. What do you want to see me play? And people were saying that they want to see whole game playthroughs. So I started off with this one, which has been in the backlog. I know Joel's played it. I'm not sure if Shane's played it as well.
Yeah, he did.
I thought I had it, but I don't have it, I don't think.
What?
Right.
I dreamt that you played that. That was a great dream.
Right?
Well, I know Joel definitely played it.
Yeah, I did.
Joel enjoyed it, and I was like, right, okay, let's get this done. It's in a couple of hours. I could stream it in 2 sessions, and I'm really glad I did. I think this game is fantastic. It's very much a walking simulator. You kind of go on a journey back to the house that you were brought up in as a grown woman, and you kind of go through the lives and the tribulations of all of your siblings and your relatives and stuff. It's a fascinating game the way it's structured. I was very lucky to have some people jump in and help me play through it while I was on stream, guide me through, make sure I didn't miss things. But if you haven't played it, I would definitely recommend you play it because I'm super glad I picked this up and put it to the top of the backlog. Very good.
So it's available on video on your Twitch stream, I take it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's part 1 and part 2 on there. Twitch.tv/Stratham. You can jump over there and take a look. It's fun. It's a really, really interesting game. And talking to streams as well, I've just started. I figured I've got a bit of spare time in the old agenda at the minute. I'm waking up in the morning. I don't start work till 9. I'm not commuting, so first thing in the morning, about 7 o'clock, seems a good time to do a video game stream. It's a great time, really, because all of my American friends are in bed and all my English friends aren't up yet. So it's a really productive time. But surprisingly, people are into it. So I started playing a game called Genshin Impact, which has been getting a lot of buzz. It's kind of an action RPG. It's a gotcha. kind of game where you have to unlock characters and there's a bit of a store element to it. You know, you can sink money into this kind of game if you really want to. But what kind of hooked me in is people are saying it was a rip-off of Breath of the Wild.
Ooh, I heard Breath of the Wild was like a really, really great game.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Damn right.
And there's a lot I love about Breath of the Wild. Like, it looks pretty, it's super nice, but there's a lot of the gameplay and stuff I wasn't, you know, Joel knows.
Here we go. He's
But
trolling
this game
me.
is no. This game, it's obviously more of it's an anime kind of RPG, really, but it's free to play, and it looks gorgeous. Like, it looks not as good as Zelda. Yeah, it doesn't look as good as Zelda looks like, and they do a brilliant job of that on the Switch. Like, you know, on the PS4, you can play this on PS4, PC, and mobile, and your save progress carries over, I think, between mobile and PC. But it definitely looks really pretty. There's a bit of pop in, of frame rate isn't great on PS4, but it still runs well enough. You know, it's still a good game. So I started streaming that, getting into that a little bit. It's pretty cool for free. I think it's definitely worth your time. Definitely worth picking up and giving it a go. I'm only a few hours in at the minute, but it certainly scratches that itch. You know, pick up and play, super easy. It's very much one of these games that's just got daily quests and, you know, log in once a day, get your rewards, things like that. It feels like an MMO, but it very much looks and plays like Zelda. You know, you've got your stamina bar, climbing up rocks and stuff. You've got a glider. You've got, you know, all that kind of stuff. It looks and feels very much like Zelda without weapons breaking and without a few of the things that niggled at me. But enjoying this so far.
Well, if you're going to put yourself after a great game, if you're going to make a game and sample it after another game, you know, that's where you start. That's where the bar is set, my friends. Zelda Breath of the Wild. Come on now.
Yeah, people love it. Yeah, and I totally get it.
Yeah, I almost downloaded it again the other day just to play it for like a third
that means
time.
You deleted it? What?
Well, I mean, it takes up a lot of disk space on that tiny little Switch memory card I got in there. All right, Karl, you went way longer than 4 minutes, but it was entertaining.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed all of that. That's good. PlayStation Platinum trophies. Come on,
just take it off your check.
Yep.
Yeah. Damn.
All right, guys. Don't talk longer than these games took to platinum, okay?
Shouldn't be a problem.
Done. Let's finish.
All right, first one. What do we got? First one up. Memory Lane. It's a when you're a kid, you play memory games and whatnot with cards, and you flip them over, and you'd have to match and remember. Oh, where was this kangaroo or card or whatnot? And be like, oh no, that's ladybug. That doesn't match, so you got to do it again. That's basically all the game is. Super easy, provided you have a good memory. So it takes it's probably about 5-10 minutes, somewhere around there. It's real quick.
10 minutes.
Yeah, there you go. Confirmed. 10 minutes. Blast through it. Once you hit 20,000 points, by then the platinum trophy would have popped, and you get a nice, quick, easy platinum and cheap one too. I think it was only $5 or so there, Palmer.
Yeah, I think it was $3.59 over here, mate. And when I saw the show notes and I saw you put this in there as a 10-minute platinum, I was like, actually, I've got 10 minutes. So I saw your note and I was just like, I'm going to buy this and play this through. Yeah, super easy. Flip the cards over, match the symbols. You got an easy plat in 10 minutes it took me.
And we've got another one that's about another 10 minutes and about another $5 or so. Tamiku, I think it's called. It's kind of an old school kind of 8-bit, 16-bit style arcade platformer where there's a bunch of balloons and you got a bunch of enemies running around and whatnot, and you got to pop all the balloons on the level. Kind of like Ice Climber came to mind in a way. It's kind of that kind of style.
Yeah. Balloon fight?
If you go balloon fight, there's another one. But that style of game kind of ish, like when you run all the way to the right side of the map and you come out through the left. So there's a little bit of technique involved with this one, but it's not hard. You only got to do about 9 levels. Literally, figuratively, takes about 10 minutes.
Figuratively, well done.
$5, cheap, easy peasy. And last one, Birthday of Midnight. If you're familiar with the Midnight series, they've had a few games, fun games. I think the last one that they did, the second one was really, really tough, I found. I think you had to There's 36 fragments at midnight, so you had
Yeah.
to go up and down on all these platforms to get all 36 pieces, and you had to do it in like under 6 minutes, which was a little tough on the home console, but on the Vita, it was I couldn't do that one. It was a little bit too frustrating because there's a little bit of luck involved.
Yes.
This one, the third game, Birthday at Midnight, doesn't really do that. It kind of goes back to like an Angry Bird style, where you launch Midnight into or try to solve the puzzle and get him to the little home spot where he's supposed to go to advance to the next level.
Kind of like a golf game.
Sure.
Yeah, not crazy golf. You got to fire him around the map and get him in the hole. Yeah,
like those. Yeah, that type of golf game. Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's kind of fun. It gets a little bit challenging. I think you only have to do like 50 levels or something, and a lot of them go pretty quick. It's pretty straightforward. But they had some neat things near. There's a couple portals to take you to different parts of the puzzle and whatnot. So nice fun game. They've always done a good games. I think this is a Radalika one as well. Not sure, but it takes a little bit longer for this one, about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on your skill. But hey, man, if you do it under 30 minutes, that's an easy platinum, and it's a cheap one too. I think it was another $5 ish. Can't remember, but still, 3 easy platinums for you. Get those numbers up. Log in, see your new trophy level.
Ooh,
and go and get a few more plats.
I think that was about 5 minutes. Well done, fellas.
yes, well done.
If you set your stopwatch at home, let us know, abogpod@gmail, how well we did there. Or if you want to write in and share some easy PlayStation Platinum trophies that we haven't talked about before, I guarantee that these guys will play them.
Yes.
Send that in,
Yeah.
abogpod@gmail. And that easy 50 levels, kind of like the game I'm playing right now, Hades. It's just 50 levels. Piece of cake. Good Lord, no. But we'll talk about that maybe next episode.
And they're fun to just kind of kill, a half hour or whatnot, right? Before dinner or after dinner or beer, go for, toss them $5 and go for a platinum.
That's right. I thought this birthday game was going to be like, you blow out the candles and then you get a platinum.
Right.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, right.
You do the PS5 controller for that, so you can literally blow on it.
Yep. Switch controller, you shake that thing.
Yeah.
Blow out the candles.
Need a sequel to My Name is Mayo.
We've got a sound effect inserted here, but the better sound effect is right there.
Oh, love that sound.
Let's share what's in our beer glasses, guys.
Oh man. So I went on my holiday. We recorded an extra show. Well, basically we recorded a week early because I had to go on my holidays. So when I was away in glorious wet England down south, while social distancing, of course, I picked up a load of new beers to try. And some of these have been like in my kind of in my backlog. Like I have a beer backlog. I don't know about you boys, whether there's just like you get beers that you want to try and you know, maybe they're out of season, maybe they just, they've finished a run. So you kind of have a little spreadsheet. Well, depends how anal you are, but
and it's a much more urgent backlog. You can't wait. You can't wait a year to play one of those.
It totally is. So I was like, right, a lot of these were strong beers as well. So I thought, well, while I'm off work for a week, I'll indulge in a few of these. So my beer for today is BrewDog's Triple Hazy, and it is a bit of a evolution of Hazy Jane, which is one of my favourite BrewDog beers. It's so smooth, so good. They do like a double version of this, which is about 6.5%. I think the regular Hazy Jane is about 5, maybe 5.2. This is it's a beast, really. It's a really, really good beer. Number one. There's something very strange about the taste of a lot of BrewDog beers. Can be, you can love them or hate them. This New England IPA Triple Hazy, it's really smooth. It's really soft. It packs a punch. It's I'm going to say heavyweight, Shane. You can correct me, at 9.5%.
Yes. Yeah, that's fat ass level right there, bro.
It doesn't. It's one of those that doesn't taste like 9.5%, right? You can slam 2 of these. You're on the couch watching the football, and you're having a great time. But when you stand up, one of those, it kind of gets you when the oxygen goes to your head. It's a really, really smooth, sweet, just a great hazy beer, and it's not the cheapest, probably at £4.5 a can or something from the supermarket, but Yeah, I had to buy a few of these because, like, it's like you have a couple. You're like, oh, I'm feeling that now after 2 or 3 of these. But man,
This
it's
is
good.
2 or 3.
Good
You're
Lord.
a champion, man.
Didn't you have some?
I mean,
you had some mojitos prior to this too, right?
oh, I did. Yeah, I had a couple of nice homemade ghetto
Jeez, man,
mojitos.
that's
They were
Good
strong
Lord.
too. So
that
but
Icelandic blood of his.
No doubt. I'd be like on the floor with all that
Right.
alcohol.
Do you know what? Actually, yeah, that's another story. We do actually apparently have Viking, Norway, Sweden blood in the family. I didn't know this,
Yeah,
but
I know
my son did like one of these tests where you get your DNA done, and it came back with all sorts, like 30%.
Badass.
Like Norway.
We already
Finland.
thanked Arctic Soldier. You don't have to kiss his ass now, too. I mean, come on, man.
No, we.
I'll see him at Hellfest in a couple of years. So yeah, this is this is a great beer. Definitely one if you like your beers on the stronger side, but you still want that taste. It doesn't taste like a Tennent's or something. It doesn't taste horrible and strong. It tastes really good, and it also blows your socks off. So yeah, win-win.
I should have gave him a time limit on the beer, Shane. I didn't.
Right. I've done like 7 minutes. It's 9.5%.
Yeah, and you've had what? Is that your second one of those? Am I keeping up here?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
and 2 mojitos. So
and 2 mojitos.
Yeah, no question why
I'm always prepared.
Stopwatch is not going to work right now. Shane, what do you got to drink?
All right, easy peasy. Parallel 49. You might have heard of them. They brew beer. This is their right around this time of year. They start, these pumpkin things come out. This is Lost Souls. Really cool. It's a chocolate pumpkin porter.
Great artwork on that can. So good.
Yeah, it's pretty.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, it's badass, man. And I've had this one a few times over the years. It comes. Obviously, it's going to come out around October. And the harvest starts, and it's good. Real chocolatey. A little bit of that nutmeg in there. Only 6.5%. So
still
decent,
a lot.
Welterweight. Yeah, she's a good one. Nice and dark. Just what you'd expect from a proper porter.
Nice.
And yeah, look forward to this one each year. I have maybe a couple of them because I'm not big into the pumpkin, that which you don't get a whole lot of flavor. But it's just nice when they have these seasonals that just you can count on. This one, Salty Scott's another one of those. They're sea salted, caramel Scotch ale. Oh, that one. I had that one like a week ago, and I had forgotten that this is like one of those beers that you have like one of at the end of the day, and it'll tuck you in. It's perfect for that. I ended up having it in the middle of the afternoon, so then when you go to have another beer afterwards and whatnot, it can be a disaster. Those Scotch ales can they can weigh you down. But yeah, a great beer. Nice transition into the stout and porter season.
Well done. I got to send you one of my digital little handheld recorders just for one of them afternoon beer sessions. Just so you can hit record. We'll have like an in-between week episode of you
Brilliant.
you just polishing off a mid-afternoon beer. I've got a half acre. I think it's 9%.
Whoa.
8%.
Boys.
So I think this might be seasonal. I've never heard of this. I'm a big fan of half acre brewing out of Chicago. This one is called Sailor's Bush. Not sure I understand the humor in there, but it's got a nice looking sailor dude on the cover there with his yellow slicker on. Like
that's really cool.
He's fighting some waves. He's got himself a pipe, which almost looks like a coffee cup at the end of a stick. Very big pipe he's got going on there. But it's a double dry hopped double IPA.
Ooh.
So double dry hop, double IPA.
Ooh.
Very thick.
Double.
Can't see through this one. Poured into a nice half acre pint glass. Looks almost like orange juice-y as far as the thickness of it. A little bit more of like the color is more beer colored, but as thick as a glass of like vitamin C orange juice.
You got some pulp in there.
All the pulp.
Some sentiment.
I'm not sure the hops. I didn't look it up. Doesn't say on the can. It's very good. Very good.
I'm sure they tossed a couple hops in there.
Raise our glasses, guys. Cheers to you. And that's to Shane and Karl, and to you who's listening.
Yes.
Even if you can't drink a beer and you're at work, thanks for listening. Still appreciate it.
Cheers.
To Sweden.
Cheers to Sweden.
Yes.
I've got a little Norwegian in me, by the way. Very little bit. Mostly Polish, some German. A lot of Polish. But
Same.
a little bit of Norwegian, which I think is where I get the blonde from. Then again, Poles have quite the blonde too, so who knows?
Yeah.
Ooh.
But there you go.
The more you know.
The more you know. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to mention? A little bit of loose chatter here at the end for those who stick around after that tight stopwatch style 1 hour episode of ABOG. Seriously, we respect your free time.
7 minutes about beer.
Yeah, we're not going to blabber on for too long. We keep it nice and tight. Tons of content, but we shut up. We move on. Then at the end,
right, ABOG.
At the end, we have a beer. We talk about a beer, and then we pour a second beer. Sometimes, usually, just kind of loosen up, have some chatter. At this point, we're already at least one beer in. So conversation or convertation, if you will, kind of tends to flow a little bit better, as you can tell by my comments there a moment ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good. Do you guys see that PS5 teardown video that they put out there?
I did.
Yes, with the little Japanese chap just meticulously taking it apart like
surgery.
Right.
Console surgery.
It's not one of them people that you work with who organises the desk and they put pencil and paper and stuff, and it's all just so tidy.
That would be me, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, I'm that guy. Yep.
God damn.
Yeah, even my desk in front of me right now is like that. Like a couple extra beer cans here, but I mean, it's
a couple extra than if you were working. Yeah,
it's kind of laid out.
They have their spot on the desk though. Yeah. Designated area.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not too bad about it, but yeah, I'm very, I'm organized. You know this about me.
And what did you think about it, Shane? Because I was kind of fascinated. It didn't really tell us a lot, other than that heat sink is massive. Like in that console, when you tear it down and he pulls it out, it's like about $1,000's worth of copper. We'll have people stealing them just to melt the copper down.
Right. The coolest thing I saw was that stand on how you can take the screw out, and then the screw's got its own. This is so Japanese. It's just you take the screw out, and the screw has its own place in the stand, and then there's a little plastic piece just to cover up that hole where the stand was screwed in. So that's sealed up nice, and then it spins to hide the said screw. Man, that was the best thing I saw in it, man. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about PC boards or liquid metal and all this vapor trails and all this stuff. I don't get that, man. I'm just a regular guy. I'm a beer drinker, beer drinker, beer, order pizza and whatnot. Get a box of Triscuits. That's what I'm about, man. That's what I do. But in seeing that, I'm just like, that is just so proper Japanese. I'm like, that's brilliant. That is so cool. So that's what I took away from it. The other stuff was kind of, the heat sink obviously was, and that fan was huge. Yeah. Holy crap. Massive. They're taking that seriously.
Oh, they just build it big, don't they? They've got that liquid cooling system, which did look really cool. I saw that and I was like, I have no idea how that works.
Right.
Genuinely, just that science fiction stuff right there. That's like Terminator T-1000 when it's just moving parts, which probably scare you. But I like the clip-off panels, the plastic kind of panels. Obviously, there's going to be customization options. Those white ones can come off, clip off, and then it leaves it open for third parties to just release their own, or Sony to release their own.
Plastic dip them or whatever.
Yeah, just have 3D versions and all sorts of cool ideas. And that's what got me thinking when, obviously we've had the black PS5 that we've seen it, but it's obviously just got black clip-on panels. So who's to say that they won't do various other ones, which kind of not a bad idea, because I guess these special edition consoles cost money to produce, but if it's just the tear-off panels and stuff, that's pretty funky. It reminds me of the old, the Xbox ones where they had the
360, the 360 with the faceplates.
That's the one, the faceplates.
Mm-hmm.
And they were cool, man. That's some funky stuff.
Yeah, it was a good idea, but they never really did much with it. There was a maybe only. Yeah. I had the wood one, the wood grain looking plastic.
Oh, classic.
For the old Chrysler Fifth Avenue.
Yeah. Station wagon paneling on my console.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it was a cool idea, but you're right. Maybe if they could sell just those attachable sides rather than having to sell you a whole new console, that'd be brilliant. I'd love to see them do that.
I started thinking, have we seen a manufacturer like Microsoft or Nintendo have we seen them put out their own teardown video before the launch of a system before? I don't ever recall. It's usually like they're handed off to like CNET or Digital Foundry or what, and they do their own teardown and whatnot. I thought it was interesting, like seeing, like, really, Sony's actually doing this? Like,
No. They handed it to no. It was media. It was a hobbyist. It wasn't them directly.
Was it?
Yeah, no. They put it in the hands of some people in Japan. That's the way I understand it. It wasn't them doing it. Am I misunderstanding?
Oh, I thought it was an employee.
Just because he's Japanese, or because
no, I'm not saying that.
I'm going to get another letter.
I didn't mean it. No, it's not the way I meant it.
No, we know.
But no, I hope you know too at home. I wasn't trying to be an asshole here or racist or anything.
No.
We're just messing with
I thought that it was like a hobbyist who just was very thorough. He had his hands on a console and he went and did this. No?
No, I think it was in-house. I think that was a Sony employee who's obviously worked on the console. Like the way he took it apart, he was so meticulous and so knowledgeable, if you know, of exactly what to do, when to do it. I think it was a whole in-house thing. But I'll tell you a funny story was I watched about 6 minutes of that video before someone messaged me on Twitter and said, "Oh, remember to put the subtitles on." Yeah. So I didn't realize English subtitles obviously on YouTube, and I watched at least half of that video in Japanese. There you go.
Nice.
Doesn't matter though. You just see it coming apart. You don't need. What do you need?
To know exactly what he's looking at though.
You don't need narration for that. This is a screwdriver, some screws. You take the panel off. Come on. Yeah.
So how do we feel about the size of the SSD? Because if that's 825 gig, right, which is what I think we've got from the teardown. So put your operating system on there, whatever that is, whatever that looks like, and put the pre-built, the game on there, the Astro game as well. What you're left with to install games, or 600 maybe.
That's what they're saying. The UI is so hefty that what's left is like 600 something, which is kind of surprising.
It's pretty small.
That's like half of it if it's 125. I thought it was more like 1 terabyte. But that's a very hefty amount of space that they're saving on the side for, I don't know if it's RAM or whatever else they're using for in that used up space.
Yeah. It's for all those PS4 games.
Yeah, there you go.
But it seems to be like it'll, and this is what I want. I want to see, before I make my decision, obviously we've done the show and all the rest of it, but
you've made your decision.
Before I make my decision of what I do, like I want to see that. I want to see those games I want to see someone booting Dark Souls up from the menu. I want to see how quick it is. Ooh. I want to see load times. I want to see transitions. And even if that SSD is 650 gig, say, if it's lightning quick, and I'm like, right, that's fine. I don't care about the size of it because I'll just plug in an external USB and I'll store my games on that and I'll just move them across to the internal one to run them.
Sure.
But if that's 650, it's got to be more rapid than the Xbox Series X. It's got to be.
No, I don't think so.
You don't?
No, I don't.
It's a proprietary SSD though. Like it's got to. They're saying there's 0 loading times whatsoever. That's it.
Well, that's what the Xbox has got their Velocity architecture, which is supposed to be a proprietary SSD.
Yeah, but it's getting like Red Dead Redemption loading times down from 16 days to like 50 seconds or whatever. So, which is impressive. Don't get me wrong.
That's the same.
Doing the ironing.
No, this is.
Do you know what? Right, I watched another Jablinski game. I watched another Jack Black. Jeff Black is still playing this game right on his YouTube channel, and he was following the horse trail. And he was like, "Look at me, man! I can get my horse going the trail, and I'm going to drink at the same time." And I said to the missus, "I was like, that's nothing. I did my ironing at the same time. This is, it's easy." But no, seriously, I'd love to see that kind of loading time comparison between the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, because it's stuff like that will make me make that decision.
Really? The 3 seconds difference of load time between these two systems is going to make your decision?
No, but 0 load time. That's a big deal.
Yeah,
like
okay, so 0 to 3 seconds.
Yeah.
That's the difference in your decision.
That's Palmer's life, man. 0 to 3 seconds. Let's go.
Yeah,
You can't even iron a cuff. You can't even iron a cuff, dude, in 3 seconds.
No, but
What's going to happen? Your laundry's not going to get done, dude. Your load times are gone.
Yeah.
Your family's going to fall apart. There's no laundry getting done.
The laundry will end it all. But if I'm playing third-party games, right, and I'm looking at these two consoles, and forget first-party, because let's face it, it's not really that relevant. Like the PS5 has got 1 or 2 games at launch. The Xbox hasn't really got any first-party stuff at this moment in time. So if I'm looking at like what's best to run Assassin's Creed Valhalla, like
the Series X, Series X is going to beef it up. That's Xbox Series X enhanced, optimized.
But is it? Like, there's a PS5 version of the game,
right?
So it's not like an upscale. Like it's made for PS5. So assuming that they both look similar, like if one loads instantly, if there is 0 load times in a game, which I don't believe, but that's what they say, compared to 3 or 5 seconds, and like, I'm going to choose the one with no loading times. If I'm fast traveling between all these points in time, which I'm doing on Assassin's Creed Odyssey at the minute, and I'm waiting like a minute and a half for it to load in, that's what I want.
If it's a minute and a half difference, then I buy what you're saying. But it's going to be seconds difference. And you're a PlayStation fanboy.
I wouldn't say fanboy. I wouldn't say fanboy.
Wow. Oh, come on. You're buying the PlayStation. It's going to have to be a huge, don't act shocked. It's going to have to be a huge difference. I know either you're getting both or you're getting the PlayStation 5. I do not see you switching teams, man, over load times. I don't see it.
Dude, I'm on both teams.
No, you're not.
Nice.
You just say that.
I'm a PC gamer who uses PC Game Pass. That's me on that team.
Just say that.
Got you
but
there,
that's the other thing, though. That's the other problem. Like, I've got the PC, so
just because you own both doesn't mean you're on both teams. You can have if you have a Liverpool shirt, does that mean that you support that team?
No, you can't. You can't support more than one team. You can only support one.
And you can't buy the shirt and act like you do.
No.
Well,
you can't even buy the shirt and say that they're your second team. You can't do that either.
But you can be some of those people out there who buy the shirt and then pretend like I bought the shirt. I bought the shirt.
Sir.
Yeah, I bought the shirt. Look at
me, not a Glorian, sir. Sport, yeah, but sports.
Bad analogy.
Like, no, it's not bad. That's a correct analogy. Like, I'm a Gloriancer, right? I follow the Yankees. I'm a Gloriancer. I am, totally.
Glorianter. I've never heard that term before.
Never heard of a Glory Hunter?
No, is that a
Glory Hunter?
Glory Hunter.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, totally. So say if you live in America, right, and you support Manchester United or Man City or Chelsea or Liverpool, with the exception of Tim Paulding, who is lovely.
Yeah, great guy.
You're following a team because they're successful and they win stuff and they're entertaining. Like, that's why you're following the team. You're not following the team because you live down the road from where they play and you've lived through all the horrible times and all the great times, and that's been a real fan, a real supporter. Like, right. Glory Hunters are something else. They might even change teams. Like, they get it if they. You got Man United fans now who are like, I'm going to change allegiance. I'm going to support somebody else now. They're destined to be mid-table. I'm like, dude, you had 15 years or 20 years of massive success, and now you're going to have 20 years of mediocrity. That's how it works. That's how it's cyclical.
Yep.
Yeah, we have a different term in the States for that. It's called fair weather fans.
Okay.
Yeah, I never heard Glory Hunter before. That's
but
interesting.
Wouldn't a fair weather fan turn up when things are going great, but then maybe not go when they're going poorly? But still, they wouldn't switch teams. They wouldn't or pick a team because they're successful.
Well, fair weather is you switch teams when your team starts to stink. So you're
wow. Okay.
Fair weather meaning like based on the positive forecast is where you are. So yeah, you jump from team to team. So right now, Kansas City in the NFL is huge.
Golden State Warriors.
Come on, that's Karl's team.
I know.
You were a Cubs fan for a while, Shane.
I enjoyed watching that run. It was history. It was exciting to watch. That was a hell of a World Series series, 7-game series. It was incredible. You couldn't have asked for a better World Series.
Well, as a Milwaukee Brewers fan, you could actually ask for a better circumstance. And I have good friends from Chicago, so I mean, no disrespect, but
Yeah.
as a diehard Brewers fan, yeah, that one hurt a little bit. You know,
But I think
the history of sucking felt really good.
Shane's allowed though because he's in a different country, so that's okay. It's like,
but he's switching teams.
But that's okay because it's not like it.
I've switched teams over in hockey numerous times.
But you're in Canada.
But
how can you? But you don't have a Vancouver hockey team, NHL team, though, correct?
Yeah, we do.
You do?
I'm not a fan whatsoever.
What's the Vancouver hockey team?
Why don't you support your local team? What's going on?
It's the Vancouver Canucks. No, I don't like.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry.
Why did they suck?
Yeah.
But you support the football team, the MLS. MLS.
Oh yeah, the MLS. Yeah, hey, you know why? Because they suck. I don't go because I'm gonna like them because they just won the championship 2 years in a row, so that's my team. No. Like they suck. Yeah, let's go, man. Go for the underdog.
This is the perfect segue.
That's why I'm a Mets fan.
I don't mean to hijack.
Is that why you support the Villa now?
No, we support Villa because that's your team.
2 weeks out, they were about to be relegated. Who?
Yeah, man, you were there. My hat is off to you. You were there.
You guys support. Well, Shane maybe doesn't, but you guys support the Packers because it's my team. Right?
Sure.
Or the Bucks. Right?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
This is
I want teams that you support and Karl supports. Yeah, I want those teams to do well. I enjoy the excitement that you guys show when your teams are doing well. It's a great community thing that we have.
Absolutely.
I get that.
As a foreigner in the United States, like so when I first went to America, the first place I went was but it was actually skiing in New Hampshire, but we went to Boston and New York.
La-di-da.
La-di-da. Yes, marvellous. Bretton Woods, lovely. But I've been to New York a few times. Like New York's I love that. I love it. It's brilliant. And I followed all the New York sports teams. So from that moment on, I was following the Knicks and the Giants and the Yankees. And the Yankees is a bit different. No, not really hockey.
Yeah, we'll get you into hockey eventually.
You'll get me into hockey at some point. But I do feel like as an outsider, you kind of reserve the right. If you're not from that country, I've spent time with you, Joel, like in and around Milwaukee a couple of times, and and now I'm like, and it's not because the Knicks suck. I mean, the Knicks do suck, but knowing that one of your best mates in the world supports this team, and it's so important, and they're great as well. They're doing really well. Like you get behind them, and you really do support. Baseball's a little bit different. That was kind of an interesting time, let's say. Like I was in Florida and I was rowed with the missus, and we were just falling out every day at the time. And she was like, go to the theme park, and she'd go to bed, and I was on my own. And so I ended up in the motel bar in Florida. This is a good story. And I'm sat at the bar, and I'm on my own in there, and just like chatting to people around me, having a few beers. And the World Series is on, and it's the Yankees versus the Red Sox. And it was just coming to I think it was Game 7, and
that would be the finals, the championship series.
Literally,
not the World Series.
And I was just about to travel from Florida to New York. So I was like, right, okay, New York on my team, and I'm going there next. And New York lost, I think the Red Sox won that. Brilliant pitching from Randy, somebody, his name escapes me.
Travis.
Randy Johnson. Yeah, I was a few beers in. And I was like, right, New York on my team. I went there and I bought a shirt, I bought baseballs and shit. And I was like, from that moment on, and the Yankees sucked from then on for quite a while. I brought the curse with me. But it was like an affinity, But I think with other sports, particularly as an Englishman, when I come over, I feel I have the ability to move that around, Like if my buddies are like turning my head and saying, you want to, you don't want to look at Milwaukee, you want to look at this one. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm into that. So I feel it's a bit of a different scenario than like in England. Football is very, what's the word? Tribal. Like you don't change. Like if you support West Ham, you don't change to Millwall or Chelsea. It doesn't happen. You are unfortunately lumbered with that team for the rest of your life. So fair weather fans don't exist, but glory hunters do, where they would sit and watch TV and they'll be all over it. And I'd just be like, I love Man United because they're brilliant. I love Man City because they're great. And when Man City turn to shit, then they'll support Chelsea or someone else.
So it's like a second team. Like my team is, I'm tied to my team, but they haven't been great. So I'm going to glory hunt another team just to feel good about myself until my team gets up to the point where I'm proud. I like that. That's better than fair weather. Fair weather is like just switching teams all the time.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
Very annoying. I mean, here in Wisconsin, we are very much, it is sort of, it's not the same, but it's the American equivalent of the football club. We are tied to our team through horrible seasons and through great seasons. But we also our team is publicly owned. It's owned by the community through stock. There's no other American professional sports organization like the Green Bay Packers, which is owned by the public. So it's special, and it does. My wife and I watched, what's that Netflix show? The team that was on Netflix, they did a documentary on Netflix. Sunderland. Thank you. We so connected with that because it felt like Green Bay. It felt like Wisconsin. It felt like our community team. I love that, man. I love the passion that you all have for your football club and how through thick and thin you're there. I mean, it can bring tears and it can bring joy, and that's, I mean, literally in Wisconsin, when the Packers stink, the suicide rates are higher than when they're good. Because it is that entrenched in the community. It's kind of it's fascinating, and right now they're 4-0, so pretty happy, pretty good.
So pretty good. Totally is fascinating.
Sure is. And I wanted to segue earlier. I didn't want to hijack the sports conversation, and then most of our gaming listeners are probably tuned out anyway since we started talking about sports. But this Xbox, the ZeniMax thing. I have been a pretty good Xbox supporter, I think, right? For the last couple years on our show.
Yeah.
And also
fanboy,
Yeah, fanboy, there you go. Also, not really. Also going back, I mean, I started with Xbox 360 Nation, then I was on a PlayStation podcast. But after I was on the PlayStation podcast for many years, a couple of years, I had the people kind of around me are very PlayStation centric, and PlayStation this generation sort of kicked Xbox's tail. So it's been very much heavy in PlayStation. I've sort of been rooting for the small guy. I know it sounds ridiculous because Microsoft is by no means the small guy. They're a giant corporation. But I like to root for the small guy. And Xbox has sort of been that. But now that they bought ZeniMax for $7.5 billion, they no longer feel like the underdog. And it now feels really strange, this whole position I'm currently taking on, I'm going to go Xbox. Everybody around me is not huge on Xbox. It's nice to support something that not everybody else is supporting because I kind of have a lot of PlayStation guys around me. This all of a sudden felt totally different because of that acquisition. They don't feel like the underdog anymore. And the way this last generation has gone, Xbox One got buried. Their messaging was poor. But I feel like they did everything they could to rebound. They've really made some very positive changes. And I'm proud of what they've accomplished. But now that they made this acquisition, it sort of feels like, I don't want to say cheating, but it's like you just flipped the tables completely with that acquisition. In writing a check, sign a check, boom, we're on equal footing. I'm feeling kind of weird about my decision right now to go Xbox only at the moment. My whole attitude towards rooting for the underdog, they don't feel like the underdog anymore. It's been very strange these last few weeks.
You like that, you're next. You like the Xbox. That's what you're accustomed to. That's what you like. You like the controller. You like their exclusive games. You like Game Pass.
It's the indie. Perfect. It's the indie band of consoles, but not anymore. So I know it's a weird, it's a very weird analogy.
Yeah,
but when you're surrounded by PlayStation fans,
you're rooting for. Look, Microsoft made some questionable decisions when the Xbox One came out, and they completely missed the market with the message they were saying, like it's got to be always on. So to the internet, like they kind of fluffed the lines a bit. And Sony have released, in my opinion, the best games of this console generation.
No question.
But there is nothing in that PlayStation lineup that is, to me, making me want to get a PlayStation 5.
Yet.
Demon's Souls is brilliant. Don't get me wrong, it looks awesome, but it's a complete frame-for-frame remake of a PS3 game. And if I didn't have a PC that was, let's say, 1440p, 4K capable in some situations, then I'd definitely be getting an Xbox Series X because it's the best value. Like, it makes the most sense. But as a PC gamer already, I'm like, yes, I want the box. I do want the box just to plug and play, and Game Pass is brilliant. But I know long term I'm going to want a PlayStation, and long term I'm going to want access to the Xbox library as well. So it's how best you do that without paying a ton of money. And that's why I'm torn at the minute. That's why I could end up getting none of these and just keeping the PS4 and a PC, because I know I can get those games on Xbox, and there's nothing coming out on the PS5 that I can't play on the PS4. I think bar Demon Souls and Godfall.
But you have a good PC. I was giving you shit earlier, but the fact that you have a good PC has everything to do with it. You can play those first party games by Xbox on your PC.
If I didn't have the PC,
they put all their games on PC.
Yeah, if they didn't have a PC, I'd be buying one of them, 100%. That would make the decision. If I wasn't a PC owner, I'd definitely get the Xbox Series X. But because I am, that, it raises the question.
Is that a nudge? Do we push them towards decision? No.
I'm not making a decision just yet.
No.
I mean, there is every chance I will buy neither just now.
Do you go to a bar where we should know this. I mean, we hung out for a while in Vancouver where there's all these beers on the list and you sit there and you stare, or do you make a decision?
I always do that.
You stare?
I can never decide what beer to have.
Well, beer's easy. It's a couple bucks. It's just pour me 4 of them. We're good. I'll take a flight, right? Give me a flight. I recall a few flights in Vancouver. Like, I can't decide. So, do you do flights? Okay, I'll take 5 of the this, and this.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's a way to go. I mean, beer's easier though. It's a little less on the pocketbook than the consoles.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens with teardowns and stuff. But I'm expecting more information in the next sort of 2 to 3 weeks to make a decision.
I think so. PlayStation's just slowly starting to trickle it out. I feel like Xbox's cards are completely all on the table right now. There's nothing really yet to be revealed.
It seems like PlayStation's kind of going back to their old, kind of Japanese way of doing business. Like, they're just really quiet about things and just kind of not like previously, like with the PS4, like every piece of information. I mean, they were just like nonstop, just slapping them down, right? Yeah. All this new info throughout the year before launch, and now it seems like they've kind of reverted a little bit back to the way they used to do things. And I don't know. I think obviously it worked back then. I don't know how well that's going to work, in these unprecedented times.
I think this is the first time. And you boys might be different, but since I was a kid, I always wanted next generation. I've got to have it. Look how good it looks. Look how and that's never changed as I've got older. Like a grown ass man, I've got to have PS4. I've got to have and I've owned the OG Xbox, the OG PS4. No, I didn't have this. I got the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X. So I've owned all those, and this is the first console generation where I've kind of just put the brake on. Just like, do you know what? I don't. There's nothing that jumps out at me of any of it.
Because I think they're a year too soon. I said this before. It's not time. We're not ready. I think it's too soon. Because
you're right.
Because of that, there's not this. We're not seeing this generational leap. It's you can play these same games that look the same in faster frame rates.
Yeah.
I mean that's great, but we're used to this obvious generational leap.
Yeah.
And it's not here right now. And that's, somebody got upset, or if anybody else got upset, I apologize, with some of the comments we made in the last episode about how I don't think it's appropriate right now that we jump on these consoles, even though we all had it pre-ordered. So
yeah.
So I'm sorry if we upset anybody out there, but
pre-ordering is just
from the bottom of my heart. I don't think we need these right now. That's not to say we're not going to buy them. Of course we're going to buy them, because just like Karl, I get super, super excited, and Shane, I get super excited over the next big thing. I need the new shiny, but I really don't need the new shiny. I wasn't meaning it to ridicule anybody. I was meaning it like just from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy it because financially I have the means to do so. And why not? And I got a pre-order. Yeah, I lucked out.
Yeah, exactly.
Luck of the draw. You know?
But we got a podcast that we do.
But from a value
need to do it.
From a value proposition standpoint, it's a year or two early. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
It truly is.
It feels like it's about like if these were coming out in the spring, completely different story. I think
totally.
Completely different. Like it's
Mate,
and then even like 100%. A year down the road, right?
Yeah,
so. Dude, for me, 100%. Because if these come out in March, and then I've done Cyberpunk's done, Assassin's Creed Valhalla's done. So then I'm like, I need some.
It seems like a better time. It seems like a better time.
They'll land at that point. And you can see this spare bit of wall behind me, boys. That I could get another guitar there. I could get another bass.
You could. A 5-string bass.
When you like, that's, when you're talking the console and the game, that's, what, 530 quid, right? So,
sure.
That's a decent little play guitar. That's something to play around with. Like, that's when you start to question it. And like, I don't need that now, and I don't need another guitar or anything else. But that's something that you never need it, do you? But you can always drop another one in there.
Yeah, I think we're
like, do I need a 5-string bass now?
No, but it's
rather
fun.
Than buy the console.
Yeah, I would never play a 7-string guitar, so I can't advocate playing a 5-string bass either. But
it's detuning that string there. Like if I want to play metal and I've got a bass that's just set up for it, I can get exactly the same one and just have 5 strings on it, which is already ready. So
I think it's been such a horrible year. It's been so taxing on a lot of us that some people out there, and I don't blame them at all, have put like emphasis on getting a new console to sort of heal and feel better about the current situation, and then to not get one, it hurts. It hurts a little bit. I mean, I totally understand that. And we got lucky. We got lucky. We all happened to on some pre-orders.
And just look at Shane. He's pre-ordered one, and he's had that email from Amazon saying, "Well, we might not be able to get it anyway."
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, Shane. So what? Like it doesn't matter. Like if I had an email tomorrow from Amazon saying, on all of mine, we're probably not going to get these on release. I'm like, okay. Do you know what? That solves me the problem. I'm good. Like,
you're not going to turn around and throw your phone and like,
no,
damn it, all the hell.
No.
It is what it is, and it's great. It's great to have the new shiny. Don't get me wrong.
It is. It's just the appealing new shiny. Really, it's like almost like an addictive feeling. It really is. You feel like compelled to do this. You don't even understand because it's not even logical, which is what I was trying to explain. Maybe poorly, but it's like I don't need this. But I'm going to do it. Shit. And when I get that new Xbox Series X, I'm already looking at games like, what games am I going to get? And it's just enhanced games that I can already play on my current console. I mean, this is it's completely ridiculous, but I just need the new shiny. And it's just like a lot of us out there, we want it. We got to have it.
Yeah.
It's like when this is the Wii. This is the Wii to me. I didn't need the Wii. It seemed gimmicky. The bowling with the nunchuck and all. I mean, like this sounds so stupid, but the freaking minute I saw that in the damn store, I'm like, because you can't get it, I'm getting it. I bought it because I couldn't buy it. I mean, how ridiculous is that?
Right.
Because no one can get it and everyone's looking for it. And I happen to run into a pallet of it somewhere, then I have to buy it. And I took it home and I played bowling and then I put it away. Like, this is great. Smart decision, Joel. Genius.
Yeah.
But that's what this pre-order felt like. It's like the equivalent of being in the store and just happening to find it. And you just feel like you feel like you have to buy it.
Mm.
It's silly, but it happens to all of us, and I feel bad that we potentially upset people about that. But I also put myself in their shoes where they didn't get one. And you have that compulsion, like, I need one, where you feel bad about it.
Yeah. It's been a crazy year.
It has. It's been a sucky year.
Yeah.
It has. I hope you're all doing great out there. And we do this because of the friendship, the relationships. If you want to reach out and have a chat, we'd love that. We're here for you. Seriously. Send us an email, abogpod@gmail. Join us on Discord. If you want to laugh, we got a good humor channel going on over there.
Oh, man.
You know, it's
it's
all about the relationships, you guys. I mean, it means the world to me, the connections we make doing this. I mean, seriously, that's what it's all about. We got to support each other. It's huge.
That the humor thread in our Discord, I started because I love, there's some funny memes or you get a quick video or whatnot. And I love that stuff. And I think it's great. But lately I find myself just going to it just to get that quick laugh in the morning, just to turn the day around. And it's been, and like everybody's, throwing stuff in there that they find that's funny and whatnot. And it's just like, it's such a joy to scroll through some days when you're a little bit low energy and whatnot. And it's cool, man. So many great people, man. So many great folks.
Great idea, man. I've been loving that too. Throw a few things in there myself. It's hilarious. I love it.
If you had a couple buttes in there too, but
yeah, social media right now is just disgusting to me. But I feel like we got a good group on our Discord. So if you ever want to chat, you ever feeling down, reach out to your boys in ABOG. You'd be surprised. We'd actually probably reach back out. We probably would be chatting with you. Let's all help let's all help each other through this. Seriously. We're all in this together. If you're still here now, like an hour and a half.
Yeah, you deserve. Yeah.
Into this episode, we're here for you. Trust me. We're totally here for you. So if you don't have anybody, we'd love to be that person. Reach out.
Yep. 100%, man.
Yeah.
DMs are always open if you want to talk.
Always.
We've all been through our separate things in life, and we've all got our own opinions and wisdom to pass on, and just talk shit with. Like, sometimes it helps to just talk about it. So yeah, we're always there.
Podcasting is about relationships, and that's the damn truth. I totally buy in that. Somebody's much smarter than me said that. Still drinking beer. Cheers. If you've got your coffee or your water or your Gatorade, God forbid your Coke. I just pissed off Coke drinkers. Raise your glass.
Cheers. Your sneaky working day beer.
Oh my God, Karl's drinking water. That's
vodka.
Okay.
This is actually water. It's not rum. This is water. But I am going to get another beer if we're going to continue this conversation afterwards.
Well, we should. Cheers, everybody.
All right, boys.
Boom.
And for that content, you need to subscribe to our OnlyFans.
Yeah, our Patreon. No.
We'll show a little bit more skin.
Never.
Oh, that's just,
See ya. Bye.
Bye.